Most people think trading is about charts, about patterns, about finding that one strategy that will finally work. But anyone who's been in this job long enough knows the truth. The real battle isn't on the screen, it's inside your own mind. There's a moment every trader faces, not a dramatic one, just that quiet second when the market moves unexpectedly and something tightens in your chest. Not fear of the market, but fear of yourself, fear of what you might do next. You know the rules you set. You know the plan you wrote. You know exactly how you should behave. Yet somehow, when the candles begin to move, those rules feel far away, like they belong to someone else. Mark Douglas once said, "The market doesn't hurt you. It's your inability to accept the risk that does." And that's where the emotional storm begins. A small loss feels like a personal attack. A missed entry feels like failure. A winning trade feels like proof you're finally getting it, until the next losing trade wipes that belief away. Up, down, hope, fear, the cycle never stops because the market never stops testing your beliefs about yourself. Not your intelligence, not your strategy, your beliefs. That's the part no one talks about when they start trading. That you're not just learning a skill, you're confronting every hidden emotion you've spent your whole life avoiding. The need to be right, the fear of losing, the urge to control the uncontrollable. These emotions sit with you at the desk every day, and unless you learn how to work with them, they will shape your decisions long before your logic has a chance. So today, we're going to talk about that part of trading, the part most traders ignore, the part that silently determines who survives and who burns out. Not the strategy, not the market, just you, and the emotional patterns that decide how you react when the pressure rises. Because once you learn to control that, you'll finally see trading the way professionals do, not as a threat, but simply as a stream of opportunities, each one independent, each one harmless, until you make it personal. Now, why emotions rule your trading? The truth is, if emotions didn't affect performance, every trader would be successful. Most traders don't fail because they lack knowledge. They fail because they lack emotional regulation. Think about your own journey for a moment. How many times have you blown an account? Not because your strategy was wrong, but because you couldn't stay calm. How many times did fear stop you from taking a valid entry? How many times did greed make you hold too long? How many times did frustration pull you into revenge trades? The market doesn't cause these reactions. Your beliefs about the market do. Mark Douglas explained this perfectly. We don't trade the markets, we trade our beliefs about the markets. That's why two traders can look at the exact same chart and one sees danger while the other sees opportunity. The chart is neutral. The market is neutral. The risk is neutral. You are not. And that's the core of emotional trading. You carry your old beliefs into a new environment. Your fear of being wrong, your frustration when you feel out of control, your excitement when you feel lucky, your desire for certainty, your avoidance of discomfort. These emotions existed long before you learned how to place a trade. Trading simply exposes them. It's not a job, it's a mirror. And the reflection you see on the worst trading days is often the most honest version of yourself. Let's start with the most powerful emotion in trading, fear. Fear shows up in many forms. Fear of missing out, fear of losing money, fear of being wrong, fear of giving back profits, fear of repeating past mistakes. But beneath all those fears is one central belief: I am not safe. Your brain doesn't distinguish between financial risk and physical danger. It produces the same chemical signals, the same rapid heartbeat, the same shallow breathing, the same tunnel vision. Your nervous system thinks trading is a threat. But here's the problem. Once your body enters threat mode, your ability to think rationally collapses. Your prefrontal cortex, the part that makes logical decisions, shuts down. Your survival brain takes over, and survival brain has only three responses: fight, flight, freeze. In trading, fight looks like revenge. Flight looks like fear of entering setups. Freeze looks like hesitating at the worst possible moment. Fear makes you see danger where none exists.
It makes you misinterpret randomness as threat. It makes you believe the market is out to get you. But the market doesn't know you exist. It's not fighting you. It's not tricking you. It's not trying to hurt you. The fear you feel is the fear of uncertainty. And trading is a profession built entirely on uncertainty. Until you learn to make peace with that, you will always trade emotionally.
Greed, the quiet saboteur. Greed is a whisper, a subtle voice. It doesn't scream like fear. Instead, it says, hold it a bit longer. Double the size, you'll make more. You're on a hot streak, don't stop now. You deserve a big win today. This could be the one. Greed feels good at first. It feels empowering. It feels like confidence. It feels like opportunity. But greed blinds you to risk. It destroys your relationship with discipline. It turns a trader into a gambler, and trading into roulette. The key to understanding greed is simple. Greed is not wanting more money. Greed is wanting certainty. Every time you say, I just want to be sure, I don't want to miss it, this has to work, you're not being greedy for money. You're being greedy for certainty. But certainty doesn't exist in trading. The moment you demand it, you lose control. Professionals don't chase certainty. They chase probability. They chase consistency. They chase execution. Greed turns you into someone who reacts. Discipline turns you into someone who decides. Most traders believe they're addicted to trading, but what they're really addicted to is dopamine. Dopamine rewards anticipation, not outcomes. This means you get a bigger dopamine hit from waiting for a trade than you do from winning one. That's why you overtrade, you take low-quality setups, you stay glued to charts, you ruin good trades by searching for more, you break rules despite knowing better. Your brain is chasing stimulation, not profit. And here's the dangerous part. A losing trade produces more dopamine than a winning trade because uncertainty amplifies addiction. This is why gamblers chase losses. This is why traders blow accounts. This is why revenge trading feels urgent. Your brain interprets uncertainty as excitement, but trading success requires the opposite: calmness, patience, boredom, repetition, discipline. You cannot win long-term if your brain treats trading like entertainment. You must retrain your dopamine system to reward good behavior, not emotional impulses. Mark Douglas said the single most important skill in trading is acceptance. Acceptance of what? Acceptance that anything can happen. You don't know what will happen. You don't need to know what will happen. Every moment is unique. Your edge is just a probability. Losses are not personal. Winning trades don't validate you. Losing trades don't define you. Acceptance is the antidote to fear. Fear depends on resistance, your refusal to accept risk. When you resist losing, you amplify the pain of losing. When you resist uncertainty, you amplify the chaos. When you resist randomness, you amplify your emotional reactions. Acceptance frees you. It frees your mind to act objectively. It frees your decisions from emotional attachment. It frees your trading from the need to be right. And once you stop needing to be right, you can finally start doing what is right. To creating a psychological edge. A technical edge gives you probability. A psychological edge gives you consistency. Here's the truth few traders accept. Your psychological edge matters more than your strategy. Why? Because every strategy depends on execution, and every execution depends on your emotional state. If your emotions are unstable, your execution becomes unstable. If your execution is unstable, your results become unstable. You don't need a better strategy. You need a better internal environment. There are 3 pillars of a psychological edge. 1. Neutrality. Seeing the market without projecting fear or hope onto it. 2. Confidence. Not confidence in outcomes, confidence in your process. 3. Detachment. The ability to take action without emotional interference. Once you develop these 3 pillars, you become dangerous in the best possible way. Not to other traders, but to your old habits. Now let's talk about real techniques, the kind that work in the middle of a trading day. 1. Breathe before clicking. Your breath is the fastest way to reset your nervous system. Slow breath equals slow emotions. 2. Use smaller size. Nothing calms the mind like reducing risk. 3. Accept the risk before entering. If you haven't accepted the worst-case scenario, you are not ready to take the trade. 4. Set rules that protect you from yourself. Predefined stop-loss, daily loss limit, no trade times. Discipline removes the need for willpower. 5. Journal your emotional triggers. The patterns repeat. When you see the pattern clearly, you can interrupt it. 6. Stop trading when emotional. Your job when upset is not to trade better, it's to stop trading. 7. Train boredom. The best traders are bored. They wait. They watch. They act rarely. Boredom is a superpower. Emotional control isn't a switch, it's a transformation. And that transformation happens slowly. One disciplined trade at a time. One accepted loss at a time. One calm decision at a time. You stop fighting the market. You stop fighting your emotions. You stop fighting the need to be right. And slowly, the market loses the power to shake you. That's when trading becomes something different, something clearer, something more peaceful. Not easy, but honest. And you begin to see what professionals see. Not chaos, but structure. Not threat, but opportunity. Not danger, but possibility. And eventually, you realize the truth. The market never needed to change. Only you did. If you're here, listening to this, it means you're ready to make that change. You're ready to stop trading from fear. You're ready to stop chasing certainty. You're ready to stop repeating the same emotional patterns. You're ready to see the market the way it truly is. A neutral environment offering endless opportunities to those who can stay calm enough to take them. So take a breath. Clear your mind. Release the need to know what comes next. You don't need to control the market. You just need to control yourself long enough for your edge to work. When you do that, everything changes. Not because the market becomes easier, but because you become stronger. Welcome to the beginning of real emotional mastery, and welcome to trading in the zone.